So last time I was talking about how I had a wolfskin coat and how I was a little bit sore since I had one in the previous campaign, and I was kind of sore about losing it once we switched campaigns. But now, with the wolfskin coat, I headed out again to do another side quest, which was the glowing cave, and inside of there was a moose skin pouch, which increased my weight by 11 pounds, and that is also a big help. The only problem with the shiny cave is that there's a waterfall in it, so you have to cross that waterfall to get the moose skin pouch, and that will make you super cold. So you want to make sure that you have plenty of wood so that you can make a big, nice fire and warm up and dry off your clothes after you've been wet. But with that done, you can move forward, continue your trek to the plain. There's a couple of houses in between you and there, so you can enter and collect food and whatnot. But I would definitely recommend going for the bunkers because I wouldn't get it until later, but there's a rifle in one of the bunkers. And I've been collecting rifle ammunition the whole time in that part of the campaign, so I had plenty of it to use, just not the gun. And trust me, you're going to want the rifle more than the revolver. Once you get to the plain, you'll find the dead bodies and their IDs. Lots of dinner plates and all that, and you'll want to collect as much food as possible because you will have to give the survivors lots and lots of food. I don't remember the exact number, but it's like twice as much as what the gray lady wanted. And firewood as well, and flares, flare gun, medicines. You'll basically want to really collect everything in the area as much as you can. That way you can store whatever the survivors need, get that mission done, and keep moving on. But once you've collected as much as you can, that won't slow you down because you don't want to be slow for this next part. You'll find a survivor in the wreckage of the plane, and he's basically suffering both from cold and dehydration, and that's about it, at least for my playthrough. I don't know if it changes in between games or whatnot, because I know a lot of The Long Dark is RNG, but once you get her in a cave and you warm her up, it's pretty easy to keep her alive and to keep her healthy, along with yourself, especially with all the supplies you got from the plane. But the big problem is walking all the way back to that church and dealing with the wolves. The wolves attacked me about 2 or 3 times on my way back. The first time I was ready for them, or at least I thought I was ready for them, and they attacked me in a pack of 3. I shot a few revolver rounds at them, but they move so fast, and the revolver can't move when you aim it, so it's very easy to miss. Luckily, I got a lucky headshot on one of them and killed it, so it scared away the wolves. And then I kept going on for a little while before I was bothered again. Pretty much till I was halfway there, they attacked me again at a barn. But as soon as you go inside, they kind of stop attacking you at the same time, so after a quick little fight, I went inside the barn to warm up again because you want to keep the survivor warm and to feed her water and food and whatnot. And then I slept because it was dark, and it's going to slow you down way more at nighttime, especially when you're tired if you're carrying someone. So you want to be full of energy for that. And then I got her back to the church safely enough. This will be the end of part 2 for now. Pick up again with part 3. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. After getting the craft survivor back to the church, from there, the priest will talk to you about how some of the other survivors are still missing and you couldn't find any identification, so they might not be dead. So he'll send you out to go and find them, along with having to collect supplies for the church and all the survivors because the blizzard is coming. To do so, you need a lot of antiseptic, like, I don't know, 2 bottles of it, I think, bandages, painkillers, a lot of food, a lot of firewood, a lot of water, an extra flare gun, a couple flares, some other things. And once that's all set up and ready, and you've gotten all the survivors back to the church, depending on where they are, some of them spawn close to the church, some of them spawn far away, and it might even be random every time, I'm not sure. Not to mention you have to factor in the wolves. But, in any case, once you're done doing all of that, and you return to the priest, he basically wishes you luck and lets you continue on in the campaign by telling you where the abandoned mine is so that you can get through to the other side. Getting to the mine is easy enough, but no doubt a last pack of timber wolves will be waiting for you on the way there. So you can either run from them, fight them, or scare them away with a flare if you have a marine flare at this point. Mine were low, so I fought the wolves away. But once you're in the mine, you'll walk for a little bit, collect a little bit of supplies, and then the mine will collapse and you'll be injured, so you want to make sure that you have plenty of medical supplies on you when you get to this area. But after you've healed up and you're ready to keep going, you can go further into the mine and continue collecting supplies and moving on. Not that supplies really matter at this point, because this is basically right around the end of the game, and while the other episodes have continued on with your loot, since episode 4 is not out yet, I'm not sure that your loot would continue on from this point in time. I would assume so, but you can't be sure. So anyways, once you've gone far enough in the mine, you'll find an elevator that is depowered because the fuses are all burned out. So you'll have to go and look for fuses to repower the elevator. Waiting for the Aurora is not going to do anything because the elevator runs on fuses no matter what, not the electricity of the Auroras. So, going deeper in the cave, you'll find several fuse boxes, some with burned out fuse, some with usable ones. And every time you pull a fuse out, it will stop the electric water from, well, being electric. So you can cross the water, which will allow you to end up finding a key on a certain dead body, which will unlock a back room that is gated off, and that is where the last fuse is. So you can then go about putting all the fuses back in the fuse box, and then go up in the elevator. From here, this is the end of the game as we know it. Your character will start a narration on the world and how the new world changes people and whether or not people will survive, and your character starts crossing the coastal highway. Whether or not the coastal highway as you see it connects to the ravine, which connects to Mystery Lake, I'm not 100% sure. But considering that I found the coastal highway in survival mode from going in the ravine from Mystery Lake, it would be a good guess to say that Astrid, the ex-wife, will indeed end up saving your character, Mackenzie. And that'll pretty much be it. I basically said everything I could about the campaign and the game as it is now. Thank you, and see you in the next part.